Ma'am, you are audible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to study about the pricing strategy. So in import-export, what may be the pricing strategies and how they will work on it. So in this pricing strategy, we are going to study about the pricing models for the international market. Just a moment. For the international market and what are the costing and pricing for the export products. So here one by one we will study that is the screen fully visible for you all? Hello. Okay. Oh, can someone just respond? Okay, anyways, we are going to study about the pricing strategies. First is about the pricing model of for the international market. First is we are going to study about the costing. In this, what includes? First includes the costing for the export products. In that, we are studying about the direct cost, indirect cost, the export specific cost, and also the currency fluctuation. And the next step is about the pricing for the export products. Again, we are going to study about the strategic consideration and pricing adjustment, and we are going to study about the monitoring and reviewing. In this costing for the export products, first is about the direct cost. What is what is direct cost? Direct cost, which includes the raw materials, includes the labor cost, it includes the manufacturing overheads. So here one by one I'm going to tell you all what is these mean. First is about I'm going to tell you all about the cost that is included in import and export. The costing will involve that is for export or the import market for any of the product, any of the brand which is being known by the domestic country. When they export their particular brand, the product or the services to the international market, they are delivering certain products to export to the foreign market. So in that the product or the service will be having some direct cost, which includes the raw material. Raw material is nothing but it is used for manufacturing the product. For example, if I am a manufacturer for cotton industry, for the cotton clothes or the cotton clothing, so the raw material for the cotton which I need, the cotton I need to import or purchase that particular item if it is available in the domestic in my own country at a cheaper price. I will purchase it from my own country. There would be no need of exporting the importing that particular raw material. So if it is in my same country, if I'm getting at less price and good quality of cotton, so in this way the raw material from where we are purchasing, the cost what it is been calculated how much cost. For example, in Padman film also it has been showed for making for the women when they are in a during the periods of during their periods, they will be using pads, right? So in that they require certain cotton to manufacture that particular pad. So if it is the cellulose fiber it is called, so that particular cotton or that fiber is available in India. If it is not, if I'm exporting it from some other country, sorry, if I'm importing it from the other country, what cost it may charge for me, for the raw material. So that calculation comes under the direct cost. And also the second comes as a labor cost. Labor cost is nothing but the wages to be paid for the workers, and which involves directly in the production only. So this is comes under the direct cost. Which cost are directly applied is called as a direct cost. First is the raw material, whether it has been imported. Second comes at the cost, that is the labors, the wages to be paid for the workers. That is how many labors are involved in that particular in getting the raw material. Those everybody are being paid during the wages. It might be the hourly base paid wages workers, or wages means the salary paid for the workers. Wages, it may be hourly based, or per day wages are being paid, or monthly basis or weekly basis. So according to that, the labor cost has been counted in the direct cost. And next comes as manufacturing overhead. Here the cost which is associated with the products manufacturing, like the utensils or the maintenance or any of the process required in manufacturing the product. That is while this type of process, that is for example, as I said you, the pad which has been manufactured, the raw material from where I'm purchasing, and how many labors are required in that particular to manufacture one particular pad, and what is the cost which has been required for manufacturing overheads, means which includes the utensils. For example, if electricity or any maintenance required, or any computer lights, these all what are necessary equipments used in manufacturing that particular product comes under the manufacturing overhead. Next comes as an indirect cost. Indirect cost are those costs which is the administrative overhead, research and development, and also the quality control. First comes as an administrative overhead, and this the cost which is not directly, but there are for the productions, like which are necessary for the business operations, such as the salary of the office people, office salary, and also the rent. In direct cost, the wages are being paid. Wages means the workers which are not skilled, which are not required in day to day activities. They are just being paid for certain work to be done for periodically time. This comes under the direct cost. Indirect cost are those costs wherein people are working for their salary, monthly basis salary. It comes under the administrative cost, which includes, that is in the business operations. For example, the salary people who are working in office, the staff member who are working, the management, from right from the line people to the management, how many people are working, everybody has to be paid. And also the office supply. For example, the rent, the particular building rent, or if it is any of the rents which is required, yearly contract, how it has been signed, those come under the indirect cost. Next comes as research and development. What is research and development? It is the cost which is any product which is being related to the cost for the innovation and the development, the amount is being spent, that is called as a research and development. The company before for example, I gave you an example for a pad. For how to the company will be having a research and development team, wherein they have to be superior from rest of the other pads manufacturing company. For example, Stay Free, Whisper, these are the different brands which are worldwide present. Research and development team should be so strong that they have to do their product or manufacture their product in such a way that it has to have good competition, tough competition as well, and more innovative things should be added in that particular product. So the company will invest on the research and development team, wherein they are responsible to get the innovation, or from one product to the how to grow into that same product, how it can be built into a better way in future, so that the market and the value of that particular product will be increased, not decreased. So the company will be having research and development team as well. Next in that comes again, like the quality control. For example, the product which are being manufactured, example as I said you, the pad which is being it has to have good quality in that particular product, so that the customers who are using, the ladies who are consuming it, they, for example, what should be considered in this particular pad is like Example I'm giving you all, it should have good fragrance, it should be, long lasting, and it should be comfortable for girls. So these are all quality things, these are the standard things which has to be met by that particular product which they are been exporting to other country. It has to have good quality control in that particular product. The quality should be increased, or it has to maintain the same thing, but not like it has to decrease. So the quality control plays a very important role when you are exporting the product to get good value, and also the customer should be happy after using that particular product. Next comes, as you know, the export specific cost. What does this mean? Like, the export specific cost, the packaging cost, the transportation cost, the insurance. So here, we are talking about the packaging cost. For example, any brand which is being manufactured, it has to have good packaging. The packets, or the plastic which they are using, it has to have a very good quality, so that the inner product should not be damaged, or any sort of thing should not, airtight packing will be there. So in this manner, there are many packages for different products. For example, if it is a liquid product, it has to have good packaging so that the plastic or the container shouldn't have any holes or any damages, or very thin quality should not be there. So in this way, if for example, now I just gave you the example of the pad, Whisper and all, when you'll see, open that particular plastic, it'll be like rubber, it'll be like elastic one. So the company should check on to the quality of the packaging required, and also check the cost, how much will be the cost of that particular packaging to pack that particular product. So that also will be counted in this export specific cost, which comes under the packaging. The packaging should be very much, very much prompt, and it has to be very good packaging for that particular product. It also should have good design in that. It must be attractive. It should not look boring. So in this way, the packaging also depends on that particular product. It differs from the domestic packaging due to the regulations and all, due to the custom preference, and it also depends on the when we are exporting any item, we have to write that made in India. So in this way, the domestic packaging will be quite different from comparatively to the product which has been exported. So you can check the price, the labeling, behind the packaging, that writings. For example, in German language, we write in English, but also when we are exporting into German, it has to be have the language, that is, the German language for that particular product. Some basic things have should at least should be written so that the people will understand it easily. Next comes as a transportation cost. Here, transportation cost is, the freight one, that is, the freight cost. For example, when during the shipment, when the product, to load and unload, you require certain, labors to help, to load and unload that particular product. So this also comes under the transportation cost. So that, to reach to the destination country, we should have certain, the workers for the freight one, to load and unload that particular item, which includes through, it might be through the land way. First it goes from land way, that is, the railway, or any of the trucks and all, to the roadways. After that, it goes to the seaway or to the air transportation. So whatever cost includes in that, that also has to be calculated. So this comes under the cost, transportation and transportation cost. Next comes as a insurance. Certain products which are, should have insurance, and most of the products nowadays, when they are exporting, everybody has an insurance, so that they can, avoid their losses. So insurance has to be claimed by, insurance of certain companies are also being there, so that they will be responsible for any damages and any losses. So insurance cost also has to be counted, and which includes, like, for the good transmit from one country to another country. From first, it transmits from one city to another city, from city to state, state to state, then after, from state to country, country to country. So in this way, whatever the cost required for the insurance, also the any damage in between any kind of damages or any kind of falls or any kind of losses, the company will be, the company will take that assurity to, reach that particular item in a safe way. So in this way, the insurance also plays a very important role to avoid the damages and falls of that particular, the particular commodity. So this comes under the insurance. And next we are going to talk about, the documentation cost. Uh, just a minute, guys. We just spoke about the transportation insurance. Okay, and next comes as a custom duties and taxes. In this custom duties and taxes, it is like, that import and export duties, like, the VAT or any other taxes to be payable. So this comes under the custom duties and taxes. For example, the VAT, has to be paid, the GST has to be paid, and any other, for during the agreement from one country to another, whichever taxes is been applicable. For example, from India the product has been exported to China. There, what the China, for the exporting for that particular item, what amount of taxes has to be paid for that item, it comes under the custom duties and taxes. So this is about the custom duties and taxes. Next is about the documentation cost. Here, in documentation, it requires, preparing the documents for, like, the export license, the certificates, and the origin of, the certificates, and the shipment cost, as the shipment documents as well, the agreements. So, in the different products will be having different certification. For example, some of the products will be food eatable items. They will be having shelf life. They has to, undergo to towards certain, food required license, which is, the company has to own. If the product is, any medical, medical product, if they are exporting, it has to have certain medical certifications as well. They have to have certain license for that medical license to export that particular product. So the here, the documentation also plays a very important role. So this also comes under the cost, like, that cost also has to be added. Next comes as a compliance cost. Here, in compliance cost, it is, the expenses that are being meeting for the regulatory requirements for their destination countries, such as, the certification, labeling, safety standards. For example, the compliance cost is nothing but, to meet the regulatory requirements, like, to reach to that particular destiny, that is, to reach to that destination country, the product should have the, the company should have certain certificate, they should have certain labeling, and they also should have certain safety standards. For example, some products which are, easily, like, the liquid products like milk, water. So in these type of liquid, they should have certain safety standards as well. The packaging should be good, the labeling and all, the liquid container. And some products which are, will catch fire very easily. So, or the gas item, like, the LPG gas. So in this way, when they are exporting, they should have certain safety standards also to be maintained, and also they should have the certificate, the license. So required for that particular, cost is called as a compliance cost. Next comes as a distribution cost. Here, the expenses, that is, while distributing the product, that is, to the targeted market, they should have certain warehouse from the local transportation, that is, from the manufacturing, company, the products goes to the warehouse. From the warehouse, it has been they reach out to the different ports, and from there they are being sent to the country, the targeted market, the targeted country, where the product is being highly in demand. So this is called as a distribution cost. From one place to another, whatever the cost will be counted, this comes under the distribution cost. So till here, any doubt, guys? Okay, let me explain one more point. Next comes as a currency fluctuation. For example, the cost of, one country, like, from Indian currency, once when I saw the currency of the $1 is equal to, in Indians, that is, 96 rupees. So it might be 93 point no, not 93, sorry guys, it is 83.86. So today's rate, it might be, it may jump into, certain amount. So this is called as a fluctuation. Fluctuation, it is, up and down of that particular currency. So in this manner, the company should be ready to bear both the profits and the losses due to the currency fluctuation. Depends upon the government of that particular country. When, for example, even in India, 2000 rupees, 2000 notes were being banned. So in this way, the people of who are being, exporting to India, that is, the currency fluctuation was being done. So in this way, it depends upon the different countries. For example, due to war and all, there might be chances of risk of, get the fluctuation of the currency. So this risk also should be taken by the brand or the company to bear the losses as well. That is, it depends upon the currency fluctuation. If it is the more, then it is good, the company will make profit. If it is less, that also they have to bear. So it depends upon the time, it depends upon the pricing and the payment. And some companies are being used to forward the contracts, or heading to merge this type of risk. For example, certain companies will get a tie-up, like, 2 years contract to the German country for, exporting from India. If I'm exporting any product to German. So during certain perfume, if I'm having, for example, I export perfume to Germany. So in this way, the contract will be there for 2 years, to avoid the risk, the competition as well from the other countries or from the same country. So in this way, they will be having different contracts as well. Sometimes, in contracts also, there are huge risk of, closing up of the, of that firm, or, any kind of any risk will be there, so that, the company will be shut down, or, they, just they due to any, economic, or, the political issues as well. Due to this also, the risk the company has to bear, like, entering into the contracts with one country to another country, between the buyer and the seller. So this risk comes under the currency fluctuation. One is about the losses of the, currencies in that foreign market, and also, for talking about the contracts between the buyer and the seller from one country to another country. So this comes under the currency fluctuation. So till here, the first part is clear, guys. I'll just wait for a minute. There is a message. Just a moment. Yeah, thank you, Raksha. Uh, okay, let me move ahead. Next comes as a pricing for the export products. Here, what are the prices? What are the steps required in, the export product? First is about, any cost which are being determined, right? From step by step, they enter into the pricing, the cost, or the which generates the profit to the targeted market or to the foreign market. The competitive, should be also be in check between one product. For example, as I said you, the Whisper, where the brand, the pad, there are two different brands. Whisper, we are having Stay Free, and n number of, products available. So it depends upon the price, manufacture price, to how much profit the company is making from one pack of pads. So in this way, this is called about making profit. Anything which comes, selling product, we will talk about the profits. So in this, we'll be having the cost plus pricing. What does this mean? It includes, that is, the markup. That is, the standard the standard percentage. Markup is nothing but the standard percentage which is being added to the total cost to ensure the profit margin. Markup percentage is like, it depends upon the competitive land space and the market demand. For example, one company which has been, for example, if one company is having, as I said you, the pad stay free, we are getting for 30 rupees, we get five pads. Example, I'm saying. And also there is a company that is Whisper. It also, has competition that is also 30 rupees. And they are providing with the five pads the same, but the quality will be different. Like, after wearing that particular pad, a woman will be, she will not be comfortable, or the capacity of that particular pad will not be more in terms of the hours. Here, the stay free might be for long lasting for 5 hours. The another might be, it might be only for 3 hours. So here, the usage of one product will be more than the usage of another product will be less. So that people will buy the product which is more effective for them. No doubt the price will be the same. According to that, the here, markup price is nothing but the total cost which will ensure to make the profit margin. It is the percentage that depends that will be dependent upon the competitive land space and the market demand. For example, many people are using the stay free, and also it is in international market also it is having more demand. So it is like, the company how much profit it is making, the total cost how much it is, it depends upon the profit margin. So this comes under the markup pricing. So till here, anybody has any doubt? Kindly message at least, guys. This term that is, the cost plus pricing. So this term only means like, that is, the selling price of that particular product. It is determined as, any percentage or any percentage of profit the from selling that particular product we are getting, after calculating all the cost required manufacture to the end customers, and how much profit the company is making by selling one particular product. So this is called as a markup pricing. So till here, hope it might be clear. Next, we are going to talk about the competitive pricing. For example, as I said you, this competition, it might be between the same country. You can who are exporting, for example, from India, the stay free pad has been exported to German country. It is just an example I'm giving you all. From India, how many manufacturers are there for that same particular product, that is the pad product, which are being exported at the same price, and the quality also might be similar only. So in this way, here, the competitive pricing starts. That is, the market has to research, the company has to research from the similar brands, which is the competition brand, how much they are selling to it, and how better I can sell for that same item better than the competition. The competition, it might be from the same country, which are exporting to one single country, that is, to the Germany example, from India to Germany. How many people are exporting the same product, whether how many people are available, how many exporters are there for exporting the same item to German product, and how many buyers are there in Germany who are buying the particular product from or there are some other from other countries also who are exporting to German. So in this way, there are different people. First they have to make a research within the country, within the domestic country, how many people are there who are exporting the item to that particular country, and also check on whether the neighboring countries are also exporting the same product to the country which they are importing that particular item. And also check whether in their same country do you find the same particular product which are when the local products used in that particular country, and how many buyers, how many sellers are there, that is, how many people are being making money of that particular product. So comes under the market research, wherein the their study of the market, like what is is the competition, and targeted to that particular market, how many people are there and how much profit they are making out of that, what is their quality, how is their packaging, and how is their labeling. So these all everything checks should be done. This comes under the market research. Next comes as a local competitor analysis. In this, any of the local competitors, like the pricing strategy, which includes, like the brand positioning, which includes the quality and the customer preference. For example, the local competitor analysis, we have to analyze first before exporting the similar brand, wherein nowadays, for example, the Bisleri water example, this brand is being known by everybody. And what is the position of this brand in water only? Bisleri brand is at the top, because whenever we say, we don't say give water to the many of the people, if you all have been observed, like if we are traveling, we say the ek pani ka bottle do, we don't say like that. Many people will say ek Bisleri do, but too they will give us different brand. There are many brands of water, like Patanjali is there, there is King brand is there, and there are any n number of local water brands also. In this way, before exporting, we have to check into already this particular brand is available, existing, or the similar one it is there, and what is the position of that particular brand, whether it is in the number one, number two, number three, or any from when it has been selling, when it is there in that particular market, from how long it has been available, from which year they are being they are selling their product, and what is the quality, whether the quality has been increased or decreased. So these all checks has to be done. And what are the customer preference, like whether the customer are preferring that particular brand. So in this way, the local competitors analyzing also comes in this. That is, we have to check onto the local brands, whether the brand is as at which position, what is the quality and the preference of the customers. So this comes under the local competitor analyzing. So till here it is clear, guys. Okay, let me move to the next one. Next comes as the value-based pricing. Here, the value-based, yeah, thank you, Raksha. Here, the value-based pricing, it is, any perceived value, like the price of the product, or which is based on the value, that is the customers in exporting market, that is they approach for the common differentiated products, which is the strong branding or the unique feature. For example, any brand which is before it being in domestic in their own country, before launching it, it has to have a strong unique feature. And for example, you all can see as everybody uses Instagram nowadays, most of you all, I can say, here you all can see some different people who are at the top. It might be they're doing any sort of not an edge. For example, I would like to tell you the Dolly Chaiwala. He became more famous because of his unique feature. So in this way, the brand should have certain uniqueness, that is very different from others, so that they are being known by everybody. So the brand should have certain unique feature from this the existing products which are already used by people. It has to have a unique feature. For example, before sugar product launched, everybody the female ladies used to use the normal the normal lipsticks and all. Example I'm giving you all. Then sugar came up to an unique feature, which was a matte finishing, the matte finishing shades they came up into. So this was a unique feature, and this made sugar brand a good brand at the in this present stages. So in this way, the value has of that particular brand, the price of that particular brand should have certain value. Like for example, there is another brand that, like the Kajal, Lakme Kajal. So in this way, why they came up into the unique feature of that Lakme Kajal was like they had a good, packaging of that particular Lakme, and it has a very dark, they showed that dark and long lasting, Kajal. So this was that unique feature which the brand has used. So this comes under the perceived value. Next comes as, market and entry pricing. So in this way, once when the product is being entered into market, the market entry price, the market entry pricing here, it talks about the lower price to the quickly gain market share. For example, any highly competitive market. For example, any product which is, people used to use for, the same product which was more costly. There is some other brand which came into existing with the same features, same quality, but their price was competitively less, and they're providing the same quality as the existing one. So this is called as a uh, pretension pricing. Next comes as a skinim pricing. Here, it means like any product which is, any brand which has been set their highly, intentional price for the new innovation. For example, the iPhones and all, they come up to the versions 1 2 3. When they move from one version to another, they increase the price of that particular product. That is, the phone, Apple phone. Initially the price was 50,000, then they came up to 60, they came up to 80, increasing their versions. They also increased their money. So in this is done, why? Because, to build the, the brand, to reduce the competition as well, and also to build a good, impact in the audience, that is, the customers who are being using, to no, not to decrease the value of that particular brand, but to increase the value. They come up with new features, like, they give, two cameras, and also you can have the flashlight in front also, and also back. So, and also the matte finishing or the glass finishing. Red phone came of that Apple iPhone, and nowadays golden phones also are there. So in this way, this is called as a skimming pricing, wherein, they come up with the same product, will come up with the unique features, different, added in that existing product, and also increase the price so that they can make good profits as well. And also this will avoid the competitors, different competitors, to enter into market. So this is called as a skimming pricing. So next comes as a geographical pricing. Here, geographical pricing, it is the prices which are, based on the economic conditions. For example, purchasing any power, or any competition from the different regions or the countries. Geographical are, it depends upon the nature. Like, in Rajasthan you can find only sand. So in this way, it is due to their geographical condition. So, in some areas, for example, in Canada, you can find many apple trees at the roadside only, streets, trees only are apple tree. So that climatic condition we don't have in India. So that apple trees can't be grown mostly. And here, mango tree and coconut tree, we can find many. That same can't be found in other countries as well. So this depends upon the geographical pricing, wherein, it depends upon the geographical condition of that particular country or that particular area. So here, in this geographical, we are having, like, that is, the into terms and the pricing. What is this into terms? This is, in IN is, the international, CO is the commercial, and terms is terms. Like, in, the international commercial terms, that is, the currency, that is, which involves, that is, they determine which, in international commercial terms, it includes, that is, the shipping. They are, responsible for the shipping, they are responsible for the insurance, they are responsible for the customs and duties. For example, one when a product is being manufactured, and after labeling and all, they are being sent to for the shipping, that is, to the distributors, that is, to the warehouse. First, while moving from one location to another, the shipping cost and all will be included. So the shipping includes in this, that is, the income terms, that is, the international commercial terms. It includes the shipping. Then comes the insurance, like, any damages or any losses, they come up into an insurance. And then the custom duties. The custom duties are, like any of the taxes to be paid for that particular product or any license or the certificates. So this comes under the INCO terms. And in INCO terms, there are some commonly which are like, the X works or the FOB. FOB is, the free on board. And we have the cost, insurance, and the freight. And it depends upon the delivery duty paid. So anything comes which depends upon the, the shipping, the cost, or the any insurance or any duties or any license pricing to be paid. So this comes under the international commercial terms. And it also depends on the final pricing and responsibilities for the buyer and seller. So this comes under the INCO terms. Next, we are talking about the currency and the payment terms. Here, in currency and the payment terms, it is like, any amount or any account which is, pricing or the currency has been made, or it depends upon the factor of the currency fluctuation. For example, in India, when we are exporting to the US market, the currency, everybody, it is naturally like, the currency of dollars will be increased. Maybe, sometimes, very rare cases, due to any situation, the currency might, due to the government of USA, the currency might be decreased. So in this way, the fluctuation comes under the currency and the payment terms. It has to be paid according to the same, the same, not for example, the gold also, it is going on increasing day by day. So people are taking the risk and buying the product, the gold nowadays. They are not waiting for, if the price of that gold is 70, now it is 70. Earlier it was 50, but two people are buying at 70 also, like, the 70 price of that particular commodity, the gold one. So in this way, the price, price will be counted in this currency and the payment terms. Like, what is the cost or what is the currency, the payment made by that, made in during the payments. It might be the credit one, or in, any currency fluctuation or any contract base. So this comes under the currency and the payment terms. And also it is like, the letter of credit, while, payment in advance. So these are the risk which comes under the currency and the payment terms. So clear, I hope the second one is also clear, guys. I'll wait for a minute. Yeah, Raksha. Yeah, thank you for your response. Next comes as a strategic consideration. What we have to, keep into mind. First is like, the marketing position. In marketing position, it is like, the overall brand and the market, which are having good position in, in that. For example, any brand which is, has a good position in their local, in the domestic, country, it has to, once when they export, no, it has, that particular brand should have a good position, good strategy, unique feature, so that it can be differentiated from the other similar competitive brands. They have to have in the position in such a way, they have to build the market, set up their position in such a way that the every customers will be aware of that, and it has to have a good impact in that particular, for that particular brand. So this is called as a marketing position. It also depends on the government. Sometimes, the government will also offer the export, subsidies, incentives, and also they will reduce the cost of that particular item, for the, for the exporting that particular item. For example, once when a company reaches to certain level, the government will also help that particular brand to reduce the cost in the terms of taxes, in terms of subsidies. So in this way, the market position should be there of that particular brand. And also in this, the strategic condition, it also depends upon the economic conditions as well. Like, after targeting that particular, market, like, from India, we know that the demand for coffee is high in China. So in this way, the targeted market, while, exporting them good coffee at, good quality and all, and making the, a brand loyal to that particular customers, the rate of that particular, the brand, that particular product, like, the coffee and all, it will be, the particular product, like, the coffee. For example, Taj tea, we are having tea, coffee. So Nestle coffee and all. So once when they are being exported to that targeted market where, the coffee demanded is high, consumption is high, so the, existing from the domestic, the country, when they are exporting to the different country, the economic should also be stable. Like, in that particular country, once when they are signed up into a contract for 5 years and all, the condition of China should be good. And, the brand, when, because, they are been exporting huge number of coffee to their country, so their economic stability should be very good. There shouldn't be any wars between India and China. So these all considerations should be there in the strategic consideration. So till here it is clear, guys. I hope it is clear. Next, we will move on to, yeah, thank you, Raksha. Next, we will move on to the pricing adjustment. Here, pricing adjustment depends upon the seasonal adjustment. Seasonal, like, it depends upon the fluctuation of the seasons. For example, the climatic conditions. Once when they change from, one thing, one climatic condition to another climate, in summer also, they you can find sometimes rain also. So in this way, the pricing adjustment also should be there, like, delivering that particular product, to export that product, to that particular country. There might be some fluctuations as well. There might be, there might be some delays also due to the seasonal adjustment. The company has to have another alternative ways and means, so that the once when they are exporting, they have to keep into mind. And next comes as in this pricing adjustment only, we are having, like, the promotional pricing also. That is, any discounting should be there, promotional, like, in pricing adjustment. After first comes as, the seasonal, fluctuation, like, the seasonal adjustment will be there. And after that, they are having certain, this is one of the challenge. And also, the company should provide, to promote that particular brand, it has to collab with other brands. For example, with toothpaste, like, there are, the brush also is being given free. So in this way, or any offers or any discounts in that particular product, buy one get one. So in this way, the promotion of that particular product has to be done, so that, the people will be aware of that particular brand. To build, the tie-up between two brands also might be there, collaborating with one brand to another. So in this way, the promotion pricing also should be done, so that every people will be, aware of that particular product. Next comes as a monitoring and review. In this, monitoring and review, ongoing analysis we are going to talk, and also the feedback loop. uh, for example, like, as the monitoring and review. Here, in monitoring and review, there are certain things like, the ongoing analysis and also the feedback loop. So here, I'm going to let you all know, like, the ongoing analysis, it is like, the continuous monitoring of that marketing condition. Ongoing means continuously that particular brand should be keep their eye on the competition. That is, also they have to check on what is the condition of that particular brand, like, whether people from year to year, month to month, how many consumptions are being there, what is the result of that particular brand, and also what is the condition of that particular brand in that market, targeted market, and how many competitions are coming, from the first year, how many competition were there to that same brand, and in the second year, how many competition also exist, and in that competition, how many were, a good tough competition to them, and how many have been shut down. First, initially people will enter and later they shut down, the first person only. So in this way, how many people are using the same particular product? So in this manner, the ongoing analysis should be done by the brand or the company. They have to monitor each and everything, like, what is the condition of market, and what is the cost, and what are the competition. In this way, they have to adjust their pricing as well, like, providing the discounts, or, will be having yearly discounts. So in this way, yearly, or, buy one, get one. So in this way, for the first customer, so and so, if you all will, make the payment, so and so discount will be there for the first 10 customers, or free this will be there. So in this way, the ongoing analysis, whether the existing brand or the competition brand, whatever they are doing, they have to keep an eye on that. So this is called as an ongoing analysis. Next comes as a feedback loop. Here, in feedback, anything, the positive or the negative feedback is nothing but, once when the brand has been, exported or reached to the end customers, what is the result of that particular brand. It depends upon, during the shipping also, the company or the brand will be having a team that is called as a customer support. They will collect the feedback from the distributors, and from the distributors they will collect the feedback of the customers, and also their price, how much the pricing, their particular brand, what is their price, what is the impact of that particular customers, whether it is costly, or normal price, or the competition price, what is the cost. So in this way, the feedback team will also play an very important role. This comes under the monitoring and reviewing. Monitoring is nothing but, for example, monitoring is means we are just monitoring people, like, for example, monitoring is like watching. Review means, reviewing whether, it is a good or a bad product, or the existing product, what are the reviews from my brand to another existing brand, what are their reviews, how many people are liking it. Review is nothing but, before purchasing, we also, for example, in Flipkart or Amazon, you review, like, how many views, how many people, what are the reviews they have been given, the positive or negative, how many people have been purchased that product. So in this way, in that export or import market also, we have to, while importing, we have to look into how many people are buying that, and what are the review, positive or negative, whether the seller is also providing good quality and all. While, because building a brand or building a business, we have to have good monitoring and reviewing of that particular product. So till here it is clear, guys. I hope it might be clear. Okay, next we are going to move on to, we are going to study on the costing and pricing for the export products. First is about the costing process, and then the pricing process. I will explain to you all with a short example, like, so that it will be easily understandable for you all. As we spoke in the costing process as well, the raw materials also. For example, if I'm, a manufacturer of a jam, like jam, as you all know, as you know, I have to check on to which fruit I'm using in that particular, while manufacturing that jam. So this includes in raw material. First comes as a raw material in the cost process. For example, which fruit I'm using, which sugar I'm using, or any natural ingredients of sugar, which is, sugarless, example, or any other preservatives what I'm using. So in this way, the calculation of that particular ingredients, or or the fruit, the cost of that particular fruit. So in this way, this comes on the raw materials. Like, if I'm manufacturing, if I'm importing or exporting that particular fruit, what will be the cost of that one fruit, and how many I can make, how many jars of jam I can make. So this is calculated under the costing process. Also, it depends upon the labors, like, how many workers are being used in that particular making, manufacturing that, in the production of that jam, and what is the packaging, what is the cost of that particular bottle, or any plastic container I'm using it, or what is the quality control, and also the packaging, labeling, the material used. So this all comes under the costing process. And also it depends upon the targeted market. Like, for example, jam, if I'm been exporting in Singapore country, so in that particular, the jam company should check on to the natural provided products. Like, the natural fruit should be there, not any other preservatives or any artificial color used, just gives a flavor of apple or any other pineapple, these type of items. It has to have good quality, it has to maintain the standard in that. So this comes under the costing process. And also the pricing process is nothing but after the calculating the total cost, like, the profit margin should be added also to determine for the export price. For example, after, if I took 100 rupees, to manufacture everything, like, and 50 rupees is my profit, I'm making 50% profit. So if it is 50 rupees, while exporting, I have to keep another 50 rupees as a, profit. That is, to reach out to, good pricing in that particular market, or in that particular, the country is making, having much more demand in that country. If I've targeted that particular country of that jam and all, for the child, the children, like, the small kids, school going kids. So in this way, the pricing process comes, like, what is the cost of manufacturing, to how much profit margin I'm making from that one unit of item, and what is the impact, or what is the reflect of that particular country, particular impact of that particular, product, what is the impact of that product, what is the outcome of that particular product. This comes under the pricing costing process is nothing but how much cost has been required during the manufacturing and all. And pricing process is like how much profit that particular product is making on per unit, or per selling unit, what is the a profit that brand has been making. So this comes under the pricing process. And also we can talk about the market demand as well. Like, what is the demand of that particular item in the targeted market, how many competition are there, what is the exchange rate, the fluctuation currency, or how it is, how much profitable, while exchanging the currency the product is making. And also what are the taxes applied for that particular country, what are the, the Indian taxes, or the, while exporting that particular country, what taxes, or whether we have to pay huge taxes. So these all things has to be considered before exporting. So this is called as a process, in the pricing process. So I hope till here I'm clear, guys, with everyone. I'll wait for a minute. Yeah, thank you for Athar. Yeah, thank you, Athar, for responding. I'll wait for a minute. If anybody has any doubt, you all can just write it, paste it in the chat box, or you all can just unmute yourself and talk. I hope it is clear, guys. Yeah, and the session has been completed. I'll be sharing you all the PDF. You can just go through it. And if you'll have any doubts, you can reach out to the next session also. Thank you. Have a good day. Yeah. Bye, guys. Take care.